While on the topic of Anivut, the final Mishna in Masechet Sotah lists a number of qualities that disappeared from the world following the deaths of various Tanaim. The list is a rather lengthy one, working from the more recent Rabbi Meir ben Azai, ben Zoma, Rabbi Yeshua, Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, to the very earliest, Rabbi Yochanan ben Zakkai, Rabbi Gamliel HaZaken, Rabbi Shmuel, and so forth. One of the last names in the list is a reference to Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi, in which the Mishna states, Mishamet Rabbi, when Rabbi Yehuda Hanasi died, Batla Anava Veyirat Chet, serious degrees of Anivut and serious Yirat Chet, fear of sin, ceased to be present in the world. The Mishnaic statement of Mishamet Rabbi Batla Anava Veyirat Chet is challenged by two Amarayim, Rav Yosef and Rav Nachman. Rav Yosef claims, Lo Titnei Anava, the fact that Anivut has ceased is not correct, because the Ika Ana, just look at me, I personify the Midah of Anivut. Rav Nachman also claimed Lo Titnei Yirat Chet, that the statement regarding Yirat Chet is also not correct, because the Ika Ana, take a look at me, I personify an individual who has Yirat Chet. And with that, the Masechet Sotah ends, Hadran Alach, Egla Rufa, etc., etc. Firstly, let me make two assumptions. One, that Rabbi Yosef and Rav Nachman were colleagues of sorts. Two, that there was no antagonism or rivalry between them, where they each deferred to the other's skills and talents. Both assumptions can be validated from a Gemara in Kedushin and one in Eruvin. Assuming that these two assumptions are correct, then the Gemara's wording is somewhat problematic. The Gemara records that they each found fault with the Mishnah on the base of their respective talents. Rabbi Yosef had Anivut. Rav Nachman had Yirat Chet. Ostensibly, each should have mounted a holistic challenge to the Mishnah rather than a segmented challenge. Each of them should have suggested that the entire statement of Rav, Anava and Yirat Chet, was invalid, because there are two people that between them have Anava and Yirat Chet. Rabbi Yosef could have also incorporated the Yirat Chet of Rav Nachman. Similarly, Rav Nachman could have incorporated the Anivut of Rabbi Yosef. There is a Barita attributed to Rabbi Pinchas ben Yair that develops a linear scale for spiritual perfection. There are 11 steps in this program. Anava comes in at level 6, Yirat Chet at level 7. Accordingly, we might assume from the Barita that once one has reached the level of Yirat Chet, that individual would also have the right to be deemed an Anav, as Yirat Chet stands higher upon the list than Anava. And this brings us to the second difficulty of the Mishnah, that if Rabbi Yosef, an Amora, maintains that he had reached the level of Yirat Chet, that would have also incorporated the Midah of Anava, and therefore obviously this would be in conflict with the Mishnaic statement that maintains that Mishamet Rabbi, who straddled the Tanaic and Amoraic time periods, that upon his death, Batla Anava Veyirat Chet, both Anivut and Yirat Chet, level 6 and 7, ceased to exist.